now listening to the Rapport Podcast Network.
The Sooners have been selected for a bowl game, and it's one that I think quite a few Oklahoma fans are pretty much ready for. Sooner Nation, welcome into another episode of Sooner Spotlight. Very excited to discuss the bowl game that we've got selected for us, and we'll get to it. We'll talk about expectations for the bowl game, all of that, so much more here on Sooner Spotlight. But before we do, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you would. It's the best way to help us out. It's very easy, free to do. We completely bring everything to you guys free here on YouTube, so please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you know, and you can always comment down below. Let me know what you think about the bowl selection. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Like I said, the Sooners have been selected to go to a bowl game. We are going to be down in Fort Worth, Texas at the Armed Forces Bowl on December 27th at 11 a.m. Central Time. Not crazy about the 11 a.m. Central Time game. Nobody really likes those early time slots, especially us as Sooner fans. We had a lot of bad memories back in the Big 12, not performing the best when it came to those 11 a.m. kickoffs. But we are in a bowl game, and that's one thing that here, really about halfway through the season, we thought for sure we're not making it there unless we can beat Missouri. And then we lost to Missouri the way that we lost to them. And man, it really does not feel like we are going to make a bowl game with Alabama and LSU on the schedule. We beat Alabama, just put a beat down to them. And that was actually the main thing that kept them out of the college football playoff. The fact that they didn't just lose to 6-6 Vanderbilt, but they also got blown out by a 6-6 bad Oklahoma team. And, anyways, getting to this matchup, it's not the standard for Oklahoma to go to a bowl game, much less just a bowl game that it's not high up on the radar. It's not the Oklahoma standard to be excited about these kinds of bowl games, but for where this season went and all of the adversity that we went through this season, this is an opportunity for the Oklahoma Sooners. They have an opportunity to go in there, get a seventh win on the season against a pretty good Navy team. Don't write this team off completely. They've done some pretty decent things throughout the season. They have shown a lot of weaknesses that I think this defense, even without a lot of the starters, because I assume most of these starters, maybe not most of them, but a few starters may not be going to the bowl. You probably won't have Billy Bowman. I don't think you would get Danny Stutzman either, although it wouldn't surprise me if Danny Stutzman did say, screw it, I'm coming back for one more game, and I'm going to play this bowl game. Smarter for them just to stay out. It's a 6-6 team fighting for a seventh win. No need to get yourself injured when both of those players are high up on the draft board, and Danny Stutzman looking like a first rounder the way that he's played all season long. And so it makes sense not to see the starters in this game, especially on defense. But I think this defense would be just fine with the freshmen. You've seen a lot of the freshmen on defense stand out this season. Of course, Eli Bowen being the biggest one that I think has been one of the biggest upsides of this entire defense. But you might see Jaden Jackson in there playing and seeing a little bit more of him, and we know we can rely on him. One of the, I believe, On3 selected him as an All-American, as well as Eli Bowen. So two defensive players right there, very young. We'll have David Stone. I'm sure he will get plenty of play time in this bowl game if he so chooses to want to participate, which I don't see why he wouldn't. My point being that you're going to see a lot of young guys in there. On the offensive side of the ball, you're probably going to see Taylor Tatum and Xavier Robinson in there and doing their thing at running back. And at quarterback, of course, we don't have Jackson Arnold, so we are probably going to end up seeing Michael Hawkins come in most likely. That's the assumption at this point. We don't have any other guy to really turn to that's played throughout the season, and I think this coaching staff still wants to win this game. And I know a lot of questions have been coming out about Ben Arbuckle, the new offensive coordinator hire. Will he be participating and calling plays? At this point, no. We've been told from Brent Venables' mouth himself that he's not going to be part of the preparation. Now, is that fully true, or is Ben Arbuckle maybe eager to get going on this and wants to jump in there? Hey, that might be in the possibility. I would love it if we did allow him just to get a little bit of, get your feet wet, jump in here, look at our playbook, and try to see what you like, what you don't like, narrow it down, simplify it as much as you want. And let's do something. Last season, if you remember about this time, we went to a bowl game against Arizona, and we had Seth Luttrell hired just shortly before that bowl game, and we ended up putting him in there, throw him to the wolves. Maybe that's not a good practice, and maybe that's why Brent Venables learned from that and said, hey, let's just hold off. I don't want to see anything from that offense yet. I don't want to put too much pressure on him. Ben Arbuckle has already done an amazing job in terms of helping Oklahoma, flipping Jet New from Oklahoma State with less than 24 hours notice of signing day. So there's a lot of good things there. I would love to see Ben Arbuckle just jump, just full all the way in, cannonball right into the pool and get everything, wet all the way around the pool. And let's just get to it. Let's jump in there, let's do something, and let's see what he's made of. And I think that would be very exciting. I think Oklahoma fans would love to see that from him. But at the same time, I understand the decisions. As of right now, we're told Joe John Finley is going to be taking complete control of calling the plays in this bowl game. And again, going back to the idea that it's not really Oklahoma standards to be excited about a bowl game, and just a bowl game in general, especially right at 6 wins, barely being eligible for that bowl game. That's not the Oklahoma standard, and I want to make that clear. But I think this is a bowl game with the Armed Forces Bowl, giving a little bit of honor to our armed forces. I think that's something that should mean something to us as Oklahoma fans. With as bad of a season as we've gotten, we were offered a pretty good bowl out of the, I suppose you'd say, lower tier bowls. We were offered a very honorable bowl. And I think this bowl game means something. If you're an American, if you appreciate your military and the armed forces, I think this is a really cool bowl game to go to. And on top of that, it's not too far from Norman. So a lot of us Oklahoma fans are going to be able to travel to that game, and a lot of Oklahoma fans around the Fort Worth area too. So, there's going to be a lot of Oklahoma fans flooding across that Red River down to Fort Worth to be able to go to this game. So there's a lot of cool things around this game. And, that's something that I'm pretty excited about. I'm excited to see how much Oklahoma fans show up to this bowl game. And, again, this is a Navy team that they've had a remarkable season as far as Navy goes, and they started off, I think, 6-0, kind of worked their way through their schedule, had a big loss to Notre Dame earlier on in the season, had some other losses through there. But so it's not a top-notch bowl. It's not a top-tier bowl like Oklahoma fans would hope for. But, hey, we're going to a bowl game, and the way that this season has gone, we just kind of have to take that for what it is, because at this point, what more can we really expect? This is a time for us just to be excited about the future and not really reflect too much on what's gone on. And hey, if there's anything that we can take a little bit of pride in, we kept Alabama out of the playoffs. So if you want to get a little bit petty with me, we can at least be a little bit excited about that. I know us as Oklahoma fans, more or less just excited that, hey, our blowout over Alabama is what kind of kept them out. So if we couldn't get in ourselves this year, and with a terrible year, at least we did some kind of good for the rest of the nation.
Hey Sooner fans, did you enjoy this video? Well, go ahead and hit that like button, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What are you doing if you've made it this far and haven't already? You should be able to find that subscribe button over here. And then if you want to see full episodes, we've got those up here, and clips right down here. So go check that out. But we thank you all so much for all the love, all the support. We'll catch you next time. Boomer.